Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Catch World Cup 2022 semifinals. This is Snow Leopard. I'm here at Sekre, and we're going to see Canada versus Australia. Sekre, how you doing?
I am doing great. I'm hoping you're feeling as good as I am. I just watched that banger of a match not that long ago, only about 15 minutes ago, and man, I honestly did not expect it to go tiebreaker, but when it went to tiebreaker, I just knew that France were going to be able to pull it out on the tiebreaker. But every moment until that was so close. And this match, hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that action that we saw earlier from that last match in this one.
Yeah, France has been doing absolutely crazy this year. And with that being said, so has Canada. So I expect to see some interesting things out of Canada. They are known for having some incidents, though, so we'll have to watch out for any of those. Hopefully no keyboard issues during this match. But yeah, we got Katsuragi, Ymir, Unlucky W, Fuhi, Henrik, and Wadbot for Canada. Panda Bear, Crimson Please, Giants, Chicken Nando, Quichobo, and Ubeki for Australia.
Yeah, and something that I did note is that Fuhi is online this week. He hasn't actually been able to play for quite a few weeks, if I remember correctly. So maybe we'll be seeing his appearance this week. It's been, I think, at least 3 weeks since we've seen him, and he's by far, in a way, Canada's, in my opinion, best player, especially when it comes to the higher end of maps. Definitely not on the lower end of maps. He's probably their least consistent player on those things. But when it comes to the really, really hard stuff, which is what we're going to be getting into with the semifinals, he's going to be able to show up big.
Yeah, we'll have to see if all of that hiding comes in clutch. He's been hibernating, just focusing his skill, and he's ready to unleash it on the semifinals, maybe.
Yeah, that is definitely possible. You know, he probably has that girlfriend buff, too. That's where he's been the last few weeks. Girlfriend, he's just having a good time. And maybe all those good times that he's had in the past few weeks, maybe they're coming into all of this match. He's going to be able to have a good time and, get a few points for his team. On the side of Australia, though, I think they can definitely be able to take quite a few points if Canada isn't too careful.
Yeah, Australia has a pretty good roster this year. I'm pretty excited to see what they can do. Gonna be an uphill battle against a team like Canada, but they're definitely not out of the race. They have a shot to at least get a couple good points here.
For sure.
So I think we're just waiting for the lobby to get set up and everybody all good to go, and then we'll be hopping into it. Actually, it looks like the roles have been cast, and it's going to be Australia winning that role, 30-52.
Yeah, we actually do have the first bans of the match coming in as well. Canada banning double time 4, Australia banning double time 2, so not going to be seeing a lot of double time this match, it seems.
Yeah, no double time enjoyers over on Canada's side, which is interesting, seeing as we've had Canada double time memes in the CWC Discord in the past week or two.
Canada went DT2.
Yeah. So no DT2 this time. Australia banning it out. They know better than that.
Yeah, no, you can't let Canada get DT2. Yeah. You saw what happened to the USA when we let them get DT2.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to starting with Mixed Mod 1 instead. It's going to be MSR Fading Sky by Monster Siren.
Yeah, Arcanite song, as typical from Yumino Himiko at this point in World Cups. I think he did it last year. Not sure if he did it the year before as well, but he definitely did do it last year. I know that one for a fact. And this one is going to be, I think, a pretty good pick on the side of Australia. They definitely have the ability to get something in on this. I think Chicken Nando and Crimson Please are going to be really solid. It's probably going to be Quijibo on Nomad and then Chicken Nando on Hidden, I'm assuming, with Crimson Please on Hard Rock. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I wonder what Fuhi's going to be playing here for Canada.
Honestly, when I see Ymir, I know Ymir is playing Hard Rock. That's a guarantee. We see Katsura. Actually, I'm not too sure. Could be Ymir going Nomad and Katsuragi Hard Rock. Wait, yeah, it's probably Ymir and Quijibo Hard Rock if they're on the top as well now, actually. But I would assume Crimson Please would play Hard Rock.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. These players are all like really good at mods.
They're kind of just good at everything, you know? So I can't really tell what mod they're going to be playing between all 6 of them. But we will be finding out in just a few seconds. Yeah, I do see that MP Start 10 from Tiger Eyes right in the chat. We're going to be getting this match started.
So yeah, like you mentioned, Fuhi making a bit of a debut after being gone for a few weeks, and it looks like he's starting it out with Hidden on this mixed mod pick.
Oh yeah, usually you see Katsuragi picking the Hidden on the side of Canada, and usually, honestly, I'm surprised that we don't see Crimson Please playing Hard Rock on the side of Australia. I know Quijibo's been their Hard Rock player, but I'm kind of wondering if this might be a bit hard for Quijibo. I'm not sure if it's slightly out of his skill set at this rate. It might not be, we'll have to see. He'll probably put up a pretty sizable performance on it regardless.
Yeah, actually, we see Quijibo had an early miss. I didn't even quite catch it. About 10 combo in, it looks like. That miss from Katsuragi, though.
Yeah, gets it at 150, followed by Crimson Please right after. Katsuragi not having a great time in this intro, but it's just the intro.
Yeah, everyone getting all locked in, warmed up. Combo has been regained, so we will be locking in that score difference in a couple seconds here. Although, no, maybe not.
It's on the slow part, that's really not what you want to see right in the slow part. I believe that 350 is slightly farther jump. That's probably what she missed on. Bit unfortunate. Getting another one right after, not what you want to see from the side of Canada.
Yeah, Australia going into this looking pretty strong. Couple slip-ups, but doing better than Canada so far.
Yeah, right now Australia has about a miss and a half lead over Canada. definitely surmountable at this point, but that's going to turn into 2.5 misses with Ymir finding their second miss of the map, third miss actually. Chicken Nanda going to be trading it right back very shortly, but it is the Nomad player versus a Hard Rock player, going to matter just a little bit less.
Yeah, that miss is going to be a slight advantage to Australia still, just because of that Hard Rock on Ymir.
Yep.
Score difference now about 70,000 as we get into the spinner section. And Ymir missing again. Yeah.
Not having that great of a time, but it is followed by a double miss right on the side of Australia. That's going to even out just a little bit. And Quimson as well gets that third miss, traded by both Canadian players at the bottom as well. So it's looking to even out after all those things. Fui getting more as well as Crimson Please. Quidjabo dropping right before this low section is a bit unfortunate. And might be enough to even it out. It's going to be really close.
Yeah, we're about to get into the last quarter now with Quidjabo dropping, and we're seeing misses all around. Score now over to Canada for the first time in the map.
We're not having the best of times on this ending, but it is still definitely winnable on the side of Australia. There's about 30 seconds left in the map, and that's exactly what they want to see. Kaltagi getting the miss. They need one more to be able to turn it back. They're gonna need to find it very soon.
Yeah, this is looking a bit tragic for Australia. They had the map this whole time, got into the last quarter, and they might be letting it slip away.
Yeah, it is going to be the map slipping away right at their fingertips at the very end. It's going to be right after the spinner. Probably about a 30,000 point differential we're going to be seeing. Yep, about 30,000. And that is going to be point number 1 for Canada.
So yeah, a bit unfortunate for Australia at the end there, but they definitely were looking pretty good in the first 3 quarters, and just kind of goes to show they definitely have potential to take points here. But Canada will be taking a break point right off the bat and is now their pick.
I'm curious. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm curious to see if Canada's going to go right into hidden, and that is exactly what they're going to do. Picking FD Floyd's hidden number 1. I think it's a great pick on the side of Canada. I'm not sure if Australia could keep up at this difficulty. I know Australia has been a pretty good hidden team, especially until now. It's just that this map in particular is more on the technical side rather than on the hidden skill set side. So it's definitely more in the favor of Canada, who have the more mechanical players on the harder maps.
Yeah, no low AR, but like you mentioned, a difficult map in its own right.
Yep.
Fui saying he's only played hidden so far in CWC and wondering if he's ever going to get off hidden in this match.
Not sure. You gotta wonder at this point because, like you said, he's only played hidden. I think it's been like 5 maps or so, I think, including round of 32.
Fui new hidden name?
True. Maybe you should hit up Zach for some advice, you know.
Zach's advice will probably be play 8 hours a day every day.
Yeah, true. Get
Just
score.
play more.
Yep.
We will be seeing them play some more as we see the MP start command, so we're going to be hopping right into it. Hidden 1.
Coming in on the side of Australia for Quidjabo, and we have Unlucky W replacing Ymir in the bottom left. Side of Canada.
There we are, everybody all synced up, and we're going to get into this with a spin. And it looks like Australia won that spin.
Yeah, Fui actually had a pretty awful spin, if I'm being honest. I think he got outspun by about 3,000 points by everybody. So not what you want to see at the start, but hey, I say that, and then we see all of the members on the side of Australia missing super early, while Unlucky W is the only person to be able to hold an FC past 100 combo.
Yeah, Unlucky W knocked to 200. Everybody else having a bit of struggle here. See Fuhi missing again. Chicken Nando down, like you mentioned. Everyone's struggling to hit 100 combo. Even Unlucky going to be falling now as well.
Yeah, and it seems like Canada's honestly not having a good time on this either. It's gonna flip back into Australia's hands right about any second, as long as Panda Bear can keep a little bit of a combo, but Crimson finds the miss right before the break. And they're gonna see they're about up by 40,000 points. They have a little bit of a combo advantage on the side of Canada. So they're gonna be feeling a lot more better than they'd probably assume they were, given their misses.
Yeah, a bit of a rough start for everybody, but we still got a little over half the map to go, and it seems like it's stabilizing a bit, at least with this slow section.
There's one harder wiggle at the end of this section right here. Everybody hits it. Panda Bear misses right before it. Some of these wiggles that you see Fuhi getting caught out on a bit difficult. Now we're going to be seeing 2 combos from each team. Only 1 combo from each team now.
Oh yeah, these are some pretty brutal wiggles. And a bit wider than you'd really want if you were going to try and stand it.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to stand anything in the latter half of this map. That part where Crimson Please and Katsuragi both miss is very, very far. So it's not too much of a surprise to see them missing that. That's going to be about 220,000 points favor for the side of Canada. Panda Bear seeming to not have that great of a time on this map in particular. It is a pretty hard map, all things considered. Especially if you don't have the skill set to be able to wiggle all these things. It's just going to feel completely brutal.
Yeah, and we saw a team miss there, followed up by a couple more from Australia. Just really struggling in the last quarter of this map.
Fuhi actually being the only person to hold a combo of any sort in this ending, and there it goes, right as I said that, but that combo was enough to propel him to keep him up in line with both Unlucky W and Katsuragi on his team.
Yeah, you can tell just how difficult this map is based on the fact that everyone's going to be ending with 800,000 and some change, and Panda Bear might scrape 500k with the spinner at the end. Not quite. It's a tough map. So tough, we lost Fuhi entirely. He's just gone.
Just gone. It's like, oh, I did my job, played hidden, I'm out.
So yeah, see you guys. No more hidden.
Yep.
Call me when the hidden pick is back. Fortunately, we do need to get that client back from Fuhi, so we'll be grabbing that back from him real quick here.
His hidden gaming was so powerful that it destroyed the client.
Yeah, the client itself is now hidden.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, we'll be getting that. Yeah, we'll be getting that client back here in just a minute. Until then, let me know in the chat. What are you snacking on right now? We got any CWC snacks going on?
Man, I wish I had a snack right now. I unfortunately do not.
See, I have some chips, but I don't want to be munching on chips while trying to commentate. Probably not the move.
Probably not. Oh, we actually do get to see Fuhi hidden again, it seems. Going into Mixed Mod 2 on the side of Australia. I'm assuming this will be Fuhi playing hidden, because he does want to play some hidden. Oh, maybe not. Does seem he has disappeared again. But we're going to be seeing Quijibo come back in on the side of Australia, probably playing that Hard Rock, with Crimson Please going back onto the hidden. Chicken Nando filling out that no mod is what I would assume at this point.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to be getting Mixed Mod 2, Mad Piano Party by Plum. So another song that I can't remember the exact mapping of it, but I can only imagine a lot of wiggles in this one.
No hypers.
Ooh, no hypers.
Only like 1 or 2 on Hard Rock though. Because you know how Hard Rock loves to move notes around randomly.
Oh yeah.
Totally not a salty Hard Rock main.
It's the mod you pick when you really just want to have a bad time.
Pretty much, yeah. We do see Fui coming in these final few seconds to fill in that last slot on the side of Canada.
So yeah, we might be saved with Fui hidden at least one more time here.
And you gotta think with how Canada won that last pick, they're probably going to be going back to hidden right after this one as well.
Yeah, I'm curious if Katsuragi is going to be playing Hard Rock now. He moved to that top slot.
Maybe. You know, it is a possibility. Unlucky W doesn't seem to strike me as the Hard Rock kind of person. Definitely more of the Nomad person. I know Katsuragi has played Hard Rock a bit. He is playing the Hard Rock. That's going to be great.
So yeah, Katsuragi, Hard Rock instead of Nomad. We got Unlucky W for the Nomad and Fuhi hidden anchoring down in the bottom right for Canada. Same lineup for Australia.
He's going to get that first miss at about 40 combo. Got another one actually right after it. Australia going to come out with a really early lead here. It is only in the first 100 combo. Canada's already missed 4 times between Katsuragi and Fui.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of the same thing we saw in that last mixed mod. Kujibo and Crimson now going to drop, but Canada really struggling and Australia getting a lead actually a bit bigger than the lead they had on mixed mod 1. Yeah, Kujibo and Crimson struggling quite a bit now, but Chicken Dando holding it down. Fortunately, so is Unlucky W, so it really is going to be a battle of the 4 mod players and who can hold on to the most combo.
Yeah, and it does seem like Katsuragi has been able to recover quite a bit. Fui's still working his way up to recovering, but he's doing just fine. Then there they go.
Yeah, and Chicken Nando did find a drop there too, so that's going to start to hurt.
Yeah, but these misses on the side of Fui and Katsuragi are just not helping them at all. And you see that score lead is still increasing even though Chicken Nando found a break.
Yeah, and Chicken Nando back up to 200 now, so
yeah,
Canada really needs to get it together.
As a team break on the side of Canada is probably going to seal the deal at this point. Even though Chicken Head and Crimson do get 2 misses right there, that's going to be over 100,000 points right in the very end of this map.
So yeah, Australia not looking like they're going to let it slip away this time. Looking really great on this map. At least in comparison, I should say.
Even then, Chicken Nando does have a pretty good score right there. I think that's a 2 miss on the Nomad. Unlucky W getting a 1 miss on the Nomad. Bit let down by his teammates Katsuragi and Fui on the mods. But you still got other maps. And I'm sure they're going to come right back with another hidden pick. Try to prey on that weakness of Australia. But hey, they got their first point, Australia. And now it is 2-1 for Canada.
Yeah, so there we have it. Canada or Australia getting a point, proving it can be done. And they may have more for us coming in the future. Ooh, not hidden. They're going to be going for Nomad 2.
Oh, I wanted a hidden. I wanted to see hidden 2. I was ready for hidden 2. Nomad 2 is a bit interesting, though. I'm surprised that they're picking this one. I would have expected to see maybe even a double time or anything besides a Nomad, honestly.
Yeah, we got the a classic Gem Zoo tournament map coming in. 2.5 minutes long, AR 9.7.
I wonder who's going to be this last member on the side of Canada. We used to Australia remaining with the same 3 players that were in their last one. Canada, we have Henrik, Wadba, and Unlucky W in here. Seems like a pretty solid roster. Unlucky swapping in and out of that. Fui is right there. He can't play this. This is Nomad. It's not hidden.
Yeah, not get him out of here.
This. Get him out.
See some confidence from Kujibo. Expecting a D ranking.
No, maybe it's not the kind of confidence that you want to have, but hey, respect. It's confidence, you know.
Yeah. Not confident he's going to do well, but boy, is he confident he's going to perform.
At least he's confident, you know. And we do see Fuhi playing his first non-hidden map. He does break that streak.
See what happens to Fuhi.
Wadbot finding the first miss at the start of the course on one of those harder wiggles.
Yeah, Chickenando and Quidribo also having a rough time on this. Crimson holding it together, but Fuhi and Henrik doing pretty great on this section.
Yeah, Fuhi and Henrik holding strong, along with Crimson Please and Chickenando on this actually. And they find misses right as this course ends. Everybody actually gets so many misses here. It is just miss essential at this point.
Yeah, just a brutal ending, but that's all right for Canada. They had nearly a 300,000 score lead.
Yep.
And they will be taking their third point. Quidribo, as predicted, not doing the greatest on this, but he predicted a D ranking and got an A, so that's a victory royale in my book.
Honestly, true. We take those. Now, I'm curious as to what Australia goes for here. They do have Mixed Mod 3. Mixed Mod 3 could be an option for them here, but it is a bit more on the harder skill set than Mixed Mod 1 and 2. Mixed Mod 1 and 2 being a bit easier for the average player, and then Mixed Mod 3 you have to get really specific on your skill sets. They're going to be going with Hard Rock 3, Smash Out. And this pick could go well for them. Not too sure.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on SMAP as our resident Hard Rock expert?
Pretty good. I like the map. It's difficult enough to the point where you're not going to be FCing it most of the time. And it's also easy enough to the point where you know that you could FC it if you get a really good run. That's kind of the perfect middle ground for semifinals, I think. You want to be able to know that you can do a really good score on the map, but it's got to be really hard, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like quite an ideal tournament map. And, you know, honestly, hard to do with converts sometimes, especially when you start throwing mods like Hard Rock into it. So, should be a good pick to see play out here. And actually, we will get to see Crimson on Hard Rock now, along with Quidribo, who's been playing Hard Rock so far.
Yep. Outside of Canada, we do have Katsuragi, Wadbot, and Unlucky W, still remaining with the same three members. seems like it's gonna be pretty good lineups on both teams. So should be a good map between both of them. That's why I keep typing out the lyrics in the chat. This song is actually really good too. Classic as well. I used to play this all the way back when I started. I'm pretty sure close to it. Very old map. Older than most people would think it would be.
Yeah, it definitely, just from the song.
That much potential for Australia to be able to bring it up at this point. You see a lot of misses on those ending jumps, but that score gap is going to be at about 190,000. So that is going to be point number 4 for Canada, heading into their pick as well.
Yeah, now 4-1. Canada halfway there. Australia still quite a long road ahead, but will be their pick. Or sorry, it is Canada's pick. So actually, yeah, that's pretty rough for Australia.
Yeah, they're going to go right with Hidden 3, the low AR Hidden, and that's going to be really brutal. This map, though, I do think it is probably the best Hidden map for Australia to be able to take point on. Definitely on the easier side mechanically. It's all more so about if you can play that area here.
Yeah, area hidden, notoriously very difficult, and something we see come out into these higher map pools where it's really testing if you got that hidden skill down. But like you mentioned, 6-star rating. It's 2 minutes 10 seconds, so not too long either. Definitely possible. You just gotta have that reading skill, or it will really hurt you.
Yeah, for sure. And both of these teams, they do have that reading skill, so it's gonna probably be the closest hidden point, I would assume, between these two teams. So if Australia can take a point off hitting. This is definitely the point.
So some mentions of sight reading earlier. Although I believe it was talking about sight read scores being someone's best. So hopefully no sight reads now. So we are on the big stage.
You know, honestly, sometimes you just play maps. You get a really good score on the first try, play it the whole week, and then you just do really bad in the match. And that's just how it goes sometimes. So maybe I know some players, they really like playing the maps only just a few times. So that way they don't get mind blocked. Sometimes people say, I don't personally believe in mind block, but hey, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, sometimes just that raw sight read really can do wonders.
Everybody getting its first 100 combo of the map, very fine. We're going to be seeing the first hard stream patterns right after the spinner. They're not that hard, but if you hit them, it actually makes a huge difference to your score overall. Chicken Nando getting the only miss on those stream patterns, so it's going to be a bit more impactful if everybody can hold combo. Panda Bear and Wadbot do find misses right after 200, so it's going to be an even trade there.
Yeah, Panda Bear finding another miss though, so we're going to see that score lead keep creeping further into Canada's side. So double miss, Wadbot and Unlucky.
Yeah, and here's where the map gets really, really difficult in my opinion. We're going to be seeing pretty much everybody except for Katsuragi on the top left missing on that tricky pattern. And he actually finds a break too. He's going to be down. Everybody having less than like 50 combo. Chicken Nando getting over there as well as Crimson Please. And everybody misses that as well. It's just everybody is falling apart. And that's kind of what you would expect from this map at this point.
Yeah, although that chaos is working out in Australia's favor, it did flick the score over to them.
Yeah.
So they just have to maintain now for the last third of the map.
And Katsuragi definitely not having a good time on these streams in particular. If anyone can hit this, that is huge. Chicken Nando and Unlucky W do get that last bit of stream. It's going to be building a bit of combo. No, Chicken Nando misses on the easier stream. And that's probably going to be enough points to flip it back. If everybody can hold combo, it's going to be really close coming into the final seconds of the map, honestly. Wadbot and Panda trade it out. Katsuragi gets the miss as well. Unlucky's the only one with a combo on the side of Canada. Maybe if they had one more combo, it could have been doable, but it's really hard.
Yeah, Unlucky trying his hardest to flick it back, but it's not going to happen. Song's over. Australia taking a second point now. Score 4-2 and their pick. So that's huge for Australia.
Yeah, and like I said, that map was definitely one of the points that Australia could have taken, in my opinion. It's not that hard of a map technically, and most of the places that you're going to miss, everybody's going to miss. It's just one of those kind of maps. So Australia coming out on the better end of that, and they're going to be going into this next pick, their own pick. Hopefully it can come out strong on their own pick. Maybe they can be a 3.
Yeah, Wadbot summing it up pretty well. Pick'em's ruined. Could definitely see a lot of 6-0 or 6-1 pick'ems that are just feeling pretty stressed out right now.
We're going to 7 this week.
Oh yeah, sorry, 7.
That's relevant. Yep, no problem. It does take a little bit to get used to, but 7 is in fact bigger than 6. And
you know,
when matches
I
go
always
longer,
told myself I would learn math one day, but
yeah, I would assume that you would know math considering your occupation, but you know.
Hey, you know, you'd be surprised how little math I have to do sometimes.
Oh, really? That's surprising. Anyways, getting into this next pick from Australia has to be a good one at this point, you know? There's not going to be that many opportunities to take points off of Canada, especially with the remaining maps. I think most of the remaining maps would be more Canada favored. I think maybe you try to go for something like Nomad 4 possibly would be a good pick in my opinion. I think Nomad 4 is definitely on the better side for Australia. maybe Mixed Mod 3 if they practice it. If they haven't practiced it, then definitely not Mixed Mod 3. Mixed Mod 3 is one of those polarizing kind of maps, like I said earlier. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we did see them be very Mixed Mod aligned so far, but like I said, Mixed Mod 3 might be a little bit out of their depth. We'll have to see what they go for. I mean, No Mod 3.
Yeah, this one could work out well for them. They do have 3 really great players for maps like this with Crimson Fleece, Chicken Nando, and Wijibo. They are pretty well versed in these kind of conferences, especially Chicken Nando. I'm pretty sure Chicken Nando is very, very good at this kind of stuff. So I think it is a smart pick. Definitely one of the better picks remaining. We'll have to see if it's going to pay off for them.
Yeah, we got Beast, like Culprit. Difficulty Hunted. Let's see who is the hunter and who is the hunted.
Who do you think? Who is the hunter in this situation?
You know, it would be the safe pick to say Canada, but I want to say Australia on this one.
Oh, it is their pick, so I do kind of have to go with you on that. If it's their pick and they're picking hunted, you know, maybe they're just feeling it.
You never know with that Australian outback. There's so many things out there that you gotta, hunt and protect yourself against. So
honestly,
they got the experience.
True. These guys have the experience in hunting, and that is definitely something to not be understated. Man, living in Australia, they just have anything coming up on them at any time, from what I know. You could turn around and see spiders behind you at that point, and you're just like, but they're used to it.
Yeah, that's the scary thing is that they're surrounded by that all day, and it just doesn't faze them. They're just like, oh yeah, that's a deadly spider, deadly snake over there. Just another day in the office.
Yeah, nothing new here.
True drop bears.
Now we do see Fuhi coming in for Katsuragi in that top left slot for the side of Canada.
Yeah, Fui making a return for another non-hidden map. Line staying the same for Australia.
Here we go. Getting started right with the map. Intro has a bit of a metronome. Very nice and calming if you're into that kind of stuff. 172 BPM metronome. Everybody is at the skip it though, but we still do get to see a little bit of the aftermath of it.
Yeah, I'm actually, one thing to mention, map 3 minutes 44 seconds long. We've seen a lot of short to medium range maps. We're going to see a long map now. We'll have to see whose favor that puts it in. Whew, that spin was like almost the same, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but Widebot, Chicken Nando, and Crimson do get misses right after it. There's
yeah, Chicken and Crimson again.
Yeah. At this point, everybody is kind of just missing all over the place except for Fui in that top left slot. Does seem to be holding his ground pretty well. There's going to be another hard pattern right about 420 combo-ish right here. He does hit that one as well. Everybody else misses except for Crimson Please.
Yeah, we're only a quarter way into the map, but already Canada coming out with a bit of a lead right now.
Yep, about 100,000 points. It's going to make it a little bit further with Chicken Nando's miss right there as well.
And like you mentioned earlier, most of that score difference is coming from Fuhi, just going crazy. Although that was a huge miss. I don't think he quite got that hyper.
Yeah, definitely not. And that's going to be a huge reset on the side of Canada. That score gap is going to shrink very quickly with Quijibo and Crimson. Quijibo hitting the big stack right there. Everybody else misses it, but he misses right after, so he can't really gain the score from that big stack that he hit. Definitely, I think, the hardest pattern in the map that he managed to hit right there. Just unfortunately missed right after it. Otherwise, the score gap would be about 60,000 right now, but instead it's about 90,000. It's going to be a little bit harder to overcome.
Yeah, we're getting into a build-up section now. Everyone getting close to 200 combo. Oh, Crimson finding a miss right after that spin.
A bit unfortunate. It is on the right side of the screen, all the way on the right, so not too unexpected to miss there. This section does have a lot of things that you can get tripped out on as well. Unlucky getting that first miss on that tripping out section. A bit unfortunate. Fui following up right after, and we could be having a comeback here if Australia is able to keep their combos. That's one down. It could still be possible, but it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, 2 down now. Chicken Endo and Quijibo both find misses again. Just Crimson.
Yeah, with Fui back up to that 200, there's not going to be much ground to be gained on the side of Australia.
Yeah, looking at all the player scores, we can see Fuhi really put in the work for his team, making a big difference here. Spent that 4 weeks out in the wilderness hunting, clearly. There we have it. Canada going to take the lead, or the victory on that map for about 105,000 score difference. Now we get a nice metronome. To Canada's next pick, they're 5-2. Definitely in a good spot here. Going to try to pick something to get them to that match point. They are. They're going to go double time 1. Sex Cells by Lovejoy. Beat map by Crowley. Good old Crowley DT. Love to see it.
Gotta love a Crowley map. Every so often. You want to know a fun fact about this map, Snow Leopard? Qualify it right now. Go get a score on it. Set your scores on it.
Ooh, interesting.
Do you see Ymir coming back in on the side of Canada? Definitely one of their premier double time players.
Trying to remember, I don't remember from the showcase. Was this one custom mapped for CWC, or did we just grab a Crowley map?
We grab Crowley maps here.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say it's the classic Lovejoy map from Crowley. Who knows how many he has mapped? Man,
honestly, not enough. He needs to map more.
Yeah. Lovejoy featured artist when?
True, big true. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, we're not going to see any Fuhi double time. We're going to see Katsuragi, Wadbot, and Ymir. And then the classic trio from Australia. Katsuragi trade will help a little bit, but score difference over on Canada. It is slipping back though. Who looks like it's going to land over on Australia. Chicken Nando finding the miss. Katsuragi trading. It's anyone's game right now as we're halfway through. That score difference so small. Everyone holding on now. Oh no, then we see misses. Huge miss from Australia there. Team-wide miss. Only Ymir trading score immediately going over to Canada.
Yeah, and Wadbot's the only person who seems to be actually having a good time on this map so far. Ymir having 1 or 2 misses less than, that's going to be another one added on top of it. But Wadbot pulling really strongly for his team here. He's having about 50,000 more points than anyone else in this lobby. And that just goes to show how good of a roster Team Canada has, where all their players at any point can pretty much come in and just do such good scores like this.
Yeah, everyone was having a decent time early on, but by the time we got about a third of the way into the map, things started crumbling, but not for Wadbot, now above 1,000 combo. Yeah, things starting to look pretty unfortunate for Australia. We went from it being just super close back and forth, almost no score advantage, to now we're approaching 200,000 advantage for Canada as Wadbot just anchoring for his team right now.
Yeah, he's going. That's just the only way to describe it. He's just not stopping. Is he gonna finish with an FC? Yes, he is. That's gonna be FC, DT1 for Wadbot, winning it out by about 200,000 points in the end.
Yeah, just simply catching the fruit for his team, and beautiful FC out of him.
Yeah, you know, if you don't miss, then you FC, and that's exactly what Wadbot did. It's that simple. Just don't miss.
Yeah, if you just don't lose, you win. It's really
True.
that simple when it comes down to it.
Very true, very true. And this is going to be match point for Canada. Australia's pick onto this one. You got to find something here. home, unfortunately. Winner of this one will be facing off, I believe it is against Italy. And that'll be tomorrow, I think. Italy being the victors over Mexico earlier today. That match is going to be a banger match as well, if we get to see it.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Hard Rock 2 gonna be the pick coming out from Australia. Definitely a bold move, but you know, when it comes down to it, sometimes you gotta have a bold move to make the play.
Yeah, and I think
Australia
this is
going for
probably one of the better ones. I think Hard Rock 2 is definitely one of the easier maps in the pool. And it's all about if you can stay consistent on these things. So we gotta see if Australia can come out with one last win. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see a nice map from No Suri, aka Momo X. Good Philippine mapper.
Would you go in the chat saying, Fred, don't throw hard. Crimson, please ain't FP or die, and Quintuple, I'm already dead. Man. You're just not feeling it.
Teammates need to go and give them a pep talk, get them hyped up, ready to go for this. Even if this is their last match of the year for CWC, they want to go out with a bang, get a couple more points on the board.
For sure. All they have to do is win 5-0. Easy.
We've seen it been done before.
Yeah,
it's certainly possible.
Before. Definitely has. We've had 2 very close instances of comebacks earlier in this year of CWC, both with Germany, Finland, and USA, Canada. It's definitely possible. Never put it out of the bag yet, just yet.
Here we get all loaded up. Looks like maybe a very slight spin advantage to Australia. Crimson, please find a drop though and negate that.
I'm missing right before 200 combo mark. Gonna increase the lead a little bit, but Wadbot does get a miss at about 250. It's gonna even it out just a little bit more. Crimson's earlier miss in the map having a little bit of an effect, but it's not gonna matter too much in the long run, I'd assume.
Yeah, not gonna really do much other than cancel out their spin victory.
To be fair, if there's any map where an early miss like that could matter, it is definitely on this one. This one not having nearly as much places to trip up on, but that's going to be a trip up for Fuhi right here, and that's going to swing things up, especially with Kazaraka's miss right there. And we could see Australia living on for another map, possibly.
Yeah, that is huge for Australia. Quidribo now going to find a drop of his own, but score difference is over on their side, getting a bit smaller now, though.
Yeah, and they see that they can actually have a chance to pull this one off. All they have to do is just not miss, and they've won the point. It's not even up to Canada to miss. It's just if Australia can hold out for this final ending of the map. And it is definitely possible. They've probably got a bit of nerves here, seeing that they are up by about 1 miss. 1 miss is going to swing in. That's that 1 miss. That's the second miss. Bit unfortunate to see on these streams right here. They are a little bit harder to stay consistent on. Crimson and Kazaraka missed right after it. And that's gonna balloon the score gap to about 100,000 pretty much instantly with all the members of Australia missing.
Yeah, tragic ending there with all 3 players of Australia finding misses close together. May have been the nerves coming into this last section, but Wadbot Fuhi holding strong.
That is going to be the map and the match. Canada winning that one by about 160,000 points. Decent score from Chicken Nanda, only getting misses in that one section. Good scores from Fuhi and Wadbot as well, with the 1 misses on both of them. Just wasn't enough on the side of Australia to bring it in for another point to make it 6-3. And that's going to be 7-2. Canada win. They're going to be facing Italy tomorrow.
Yeah, like you mentioned, pretty good play out of Australia, but hard to go up against 2-1 misses.
Yeah, for sure.
An overall, 7-2 victory for Canada, but Australia playing pretty well there. Easily could have taken a few more points. We will have to say goodbye to them as Canada moves on in the losers bracket.
Yep,
There we are, got our winners on screen.
Yep. Members of Team Canada moving on. Face Italy tomorrow. Katsuragi, Ymir, Unlucky W, Fui, Henrik, and Wadbot. That match is going to be quite a struggle for both teams, if I'm being honest. You remember how the France-Chile match went earlier today? I expect just as much hype and potential out of this upcoming match between Canada and Italy tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that one is going to be quite crazy to watch, so I'm excited for that.
Yep, both teams, Canada and Italy, close friends with each other too, so they know each other. They've been playing with each other for months and months on end. They've been talking to each other just as good friends even. So they know them inside and out at this point. And playing a match versus them to decide who goes home in the 7 to 8 slot, that's got to be painful.
Yeah, that match is going to be at 19 UTC tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that one.
Yep, and here we see the bracket. We got the winners bracket here. We still have both winners matches coming tomorrow. China versus Indonesia, followed with Korea, USA closely after. China and Indonesia are going to be at 7 UTC if I remember correctly. Something like that. USA, Korea, 14 UTC. And here we go with the losers bracket to the side. We did have France beating out Chile earlier today, so that way France is advancing into the top 6. Canada versus Italy will be the last losers bracket match of the week. One of those two teams are going to go home in the 7 to 8 position. And man, both teams are definitely not wanting to be that team.
Oh yeah, that it would be tragic losing out in the semifinals, but two Titans, they got to face it out, and someone's going to come out on top. Like we mentioned, that'll be at 19 UTC tomorrow, and then we got the winner bracket matches at 7 and 14 respectively. So until then, I think that's going to be the end of the stream, but thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Sekai, for commentating with me, and we'll see you all tomorrow.